Beloved chosen one, pause for a moment. Heaven has halted time around you. You are not hearing these words by accident. Every heartbeat, every tear, every night you thought you were forgotten was not wasted. You were being tested, and you didn't even know it. While others were living freely, unaware, you were being refined under divine scrutiny. Every betrayal, every door that closed in your face was an unseen exam, a heavenly test of faith. And here you are, still standing. That alone is proof you passed. You see, God never announces your tests. He doesn't hand you a paper-labeled trial. He hides it inside your disappointments, inside moments where your prayers seem unanswered. You thought you were being punished, but you were being prepared. You thought you were being overlooked, but you were being observed. Heaven was measuring your heart, not your achievements. Every time you chose peace over revenge, love over bitterness, obedience over convenience, you were scoring high in a test the world didn't see. There were moments you almost gave up. Remember them when it felt like everything was collapsing. The silence of God echoed louder than thunder. You cried, "Lord, where are you?" But heaven seemed still. Yet that silence was not abandonment, it was assessment. The teacher always stays quiet during the test. And you, God's chosen one, kept going. You loved when it hurt. You prayed when it seemed pointless. You forgave when the wound was still open. That's what heaven calls passing with distinction. You must understand there was purpose in your pain. Every tear was recorded, every sigh counted. The pressure you felt was the weight of destiny, molding your character for a blessing that can't be carried by ordinary hands. Ordinary people quit. Chosen ones endure. You endured. You didn't crumble when it got dark. You didn't turn away when the wilderness grew long. You didn't sell your integrity for comfort. Heaven has seen it all. It is written in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. That's you. You stood the test. Without even realizing it, your faith was being watched. Angels stood on the edge of heaven, observing every moment you chose light over darkness. They whispered your name before the throne. God smiled not because you were perfect, but because you didn't quit. You stayed in the fire until it produced gold. Now the season is shifting. The tests are turning into testimonies. What once broke you will soon bless you. The tables are being prepared in the presence of those who doubted you, and the very pain that seemed meaningless will soon make sense. You are stepping into the after of your wilderness. You are entering the chapter where tears become oil and trials become triumphs. Chosen one, listen carefully. Heaven doesn't forget endurance. God does not overlook faithfulness. When you thought no one saw your quiet obedience, your whispered prayers, your hidden sacrifices, heaven did. You thought you were surviving, but you were qualifying. Every time you said yes to God in silence, you were being marked for blessing. That's why the warfare was so intense. The enemy saw your potential and tried to wear you down before the reward could arrive. But here you are, unbroken, unstoppable, still standing. You passed the test without knowing, and now comes the blessing without asking. You will not have to chase what's yours. The blessing is drawn to endurance, and endurance is what you have mastered. Doors that refuse to open will now swing wide. People who rejected you will remember your name. The anointing that was developing in private is about to be revealed publicly. Heaven is announcing your graduation. You didn't fail when you cried. You didn't fail when you doubted. You didn't fail when you stumbled. You passed because you didn't quit. That's what separates the chosen from the called. The chosen keep walking through fire until they find the promise. You have proven trustworthy in trial, and heaven has recorded your name among the overcomers. Every delay was divine timing. Every loss was redirection. Every heartbreak was preparation. And now, the reward comes not as a trickle, but as a flood. As, beloved, this is your confirmation. You have entered a new spiritual season. Heaven has seen enough. The testing is complete. You are ready for what's next, not because you earned it, but because you endured it. The oil flows after the crushing. The crown is placed after the cross. And now, the same hands that once trembled in weakness will carry the blessing with strength. You are chosen, and this message is your proof. You have walked through what others could not. You've passed the test you didn't know existed. And heaven's response to that faithfulness is simple. Now comes the blessing. If this message resonates with your spirit, take a moment and breathe it in. This is not coincidence. This is divine timing. Type below 777. I receive my blessing. Like, share, and subscribe so this word reaches every other chosen one who needs to be reminded the test is over and the blessing begins now. You thought heaven was silent, chosen one. You mistook stillness for absence, but all along the eyes of heaven were upon you. There was never a single moment when your struggle went unnoticed, when you sat alone, staring into the dark, wondering if God had turned his face away. He was watching, not with judgment, but with pride. Every tear that fell was a signal sent upward. Every whisper of "help me" was a vibration that reached the throne. Heaven has always been watching its beloved endure the fire, not to see you break, but to see you bloom. There's a mystery in how heaven observes. It doesn't rush to rescue you from discomfort because divine eyes see beyond pain. Where you saw punishment, heaven saw preparation. Where you saw isolation, heaven saw initiation. The angels were instructed to step back, not because you were abandoned, but because your wings had to strengthen through resistance. And you did. Without applause, without comfort, without witnesses, you strengthened your spirit. Heaven saw every silent victory, every time you wiped your tears and decided to try again. There were nights you felt unseen, unheard, unloved. Yet even in the shadows, heaven took notes. The records of the righteous are not kept on earth, they are written in celestial ink. When you forgave those who betrayed you, heaven recorded it. When you blessed those who cursed you, heaven applauded. When you chose integrity in secret, heaven rejoiced. You thought you were invisible, but you were being watched by the one who sees all. We are reminded through the writings of David in the book of Psalms, chapter 33, verse 13. The Lord looks from heaven. He sees all the sons of men. Think about that for a moment, God looking down from heaven, eyes filled with compassion, watching you persevere through storms that others didn't even know you faced. You didn't just survive. You honored God while surviving. That's what caught his attention. Many people praise in comfort, and but few worship in the wilderness. You did. That's why heaven's gaze stayed fixed upon you. The silence wasn't neglect, it was examination. God wanted to see whether your devotion was dependent on his blessings or anchored in his being. You didn't just love him when things were good, you clung to him when everything was falling apart. That's what distinguishes you from the crowd. You never needed proof that he was real. Your soul just knew. That kind of faith is what moves heaven. The watchers, those assigned to observe the chosen, reported back with joy. They did not give up, they said. They kept believing. You passed unseen inspections of the heart, not public tests where others could cheer, but private ones where no one would ever know. That's how God measures greatness, in what you do when no one's watching. And now heaven's attention is no longer silent. The same eyes that watched in testing are now watching in reward. Chosen one, you must understand something profound. Observation is not passive. When heaven watches, heaven prepares. The stillness of God is not emptiness, it's energy gathering. It's the pause before the divine motion. Every time you felt forgotten, heaven was actually writing your name into a new assignment. You thought you were waiting for God, but God was waiting for the right moment to reveal what He had built in you. It's like a seed buried beneath the earth. It feels unseen, but it's simply being prepared for light. Every season of stillness is surveillance. Heaven watches the chosen more carefully than anyone else because your life is not ordinary, it's prophetic. You carry blueprints inside you, designs meant to shift generations. That's why you couldn't be treated like everyone else. God's eyes were on you too closely. Every delay had purpose. Every silence was divine timing, measured with heavenly precision. If only you could see how heaven viewed you in your lowest moment. When you thought you were losing faith, God saw you as enduring faith. When you felt weak, heaven called you strong. When you said, "I can't," the angels whispered, "They're still trying. That's why you're still here." The observation was not to expose you, it was to establish you. Heaven's gaze is not cold, it's refining fire. It burns away pretense and reveals purity. Now the watching continues, but the tone has changed. Heaven no longer watches in test, but in testimony. The eyes that once examined now celebrate. You have become evidence of divine endurance. You are a living reminder that unseen faithfulness is never forgotten. You didn't just survive the gaze of heaven, you impressed it. And so, even when you walk into this next season, remember you are still being watched. But now, it's not evaluation, it's admiration. Heaven's eyes are upon you not to test, but to bless. You are under divine observation, and this time, it is for your glory. Heaven leans closer now, not in silence, but in celebration, watching you rise, radiant and unstoppable, carrying divine light into your next chapter. Chosen one. The weight you carried was never ordinary. It was holy. It was designed. You've walked through valleys that others couldn't even stand in. You've held burdens that would have crushed lesser souls. And yet, you're still here, still breathing, still believing, still shining. What felt like heaviness was actually heaven's hand shaping strength inside you. Every sleepless night, every unanswered prayer, every quiet cry, none of it was wasted. You weren't being broken, you were being built. Do you remember the times when everything you touched seemed to fall apart? The people you helped vanished when you needed them most. The doors you prayed for stayed locked. The ones you loved misunderstood your heart. You wondered, what's wrong with me? But the truth is, nothing was wrong with you. You were chosen to carry something eternal, and such a calling always attracts pressure. God wasn't punishing you, He was positioning you. The crushing was proof that you were carrying oil. The Word of God declares in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 17, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." Think about that. What you called unbearable, heaven calls momentary. What you thought was destroying you was actually delivering you into glory. Your pain was not a detour, it was divine direction. God used rejection to reroute you to destiny. Every no was a redirection toward a better yes. Every delay was divine protection from premature exposure. You had to be hidden until your spirit was strong enough to handle what's coming next. You carried weights that weren't yours, family burdens, generational patterns, emotional debts left unpaid by those before you. You've been the one to break cycles no one else had the courage to confront. The depression that tried to silence you was not your own, it was a battle for your lineage. You stood in the gap without realizing it, interceding by simply surviving. Every tear that fell from your eyes watered seeds of deliverance for those who will come after you. Chosen one, do you realize how powerful that is? You became the turning point. Heaven saw you choosing peace where your parents chose anger. You chose prayer where others chose pride. You chose faith where fear once ruled. That's generational warfare, and you won battles in silence that will echo in eternity. Your endurance shifted bloodlines. You may not see it yet, but the weight you carried wasn't punishment, it was inheritance. You carried destiny disguised as difficulty. There's a reason your heart feels heavy, it's full of calling. The more divine purpose you carry, the greater the spiritual gravity pressing on you. That pressure is not there to crush you. It's there to remind you that you were made for more. Even gold feels the weight of refinement before it shines. And right now, you're glowing from within, even if you don't see it yet. Heaven sees it. The darkness recognizes it. That's why opposition increases when breakthrough is near. The enemy attacks what threatens him. Do not despise your heaviness, it is holy weight. You were chosen to carry it because heaven knew you could. You were trusted with trouble because you would not drop it. You've been the steady hands in the storm, the voice of faith when no one else could speak. Every hardship trained you. Every betrayal sharpened your discernment. Every failure became foundation for wisdom. And now, what once felt like burden will soon become blessing. Listen closely, your endurance has matured you. You no longer react the same. You no longer beg for validation. You've learned to pray differently, to rest differently, to see differently. That's growth born from the weight of warfare. You carry peace where chaos used to live. You carry clarity where confusion once reigned. You've been tempered by trials, forged by fire, and anointed by affliction. The very things that tried to destroy you became the tools that built you. You are proof that divine strength is born from human weakness. The heaviness you endured was never random, it was prophetic. You carried the pain of a generation, but now you will carry its healing. The weight has done its work. The refining has completed its cycle, and heaven whispers now, lay it down. It's time to rise. What you carried for years is being lifted. What once drained you will now empower you. Chosen one. Exhale. The weight is lifting, not because you failed to carry it, but because you fulfilled its purpose. The test has turned into testimony. The burden has become a bridge, and what once made you cry will now make you praise. Now, type below, I am free. Because every word you speak in faith releases what heaven has already decreed. When you declare it, the chains acknowledge your release. Say it and feel the shift, because this is the moment you drop the weight and step into your glory. There were seasons. Chosen one. When heaven felt silent, when every prayer seemed to vanish into the dark and every sign you looked for stayed hidden. You remember those nights when you cried, "Lord, where are you?" but the only answer was stillness. You feared that you had been forgotten, abandoned in the wilderness of your own faith. But now you are beginning to understand when God hides his face. He is not leaving you. He is training you. His silence is not absence. It is strategy. You see, if God spoke every time you called, you would depend on his voice more than his presence. He had to teach you how to trust even when you couldn't trace him. In those quiet stretches, your faith was being refined. The silence taught you to stand, to pray without proof, to believe without visible confirmation. Heaven wasn't punishing you, it was building an unshakable foundation inside your soul. The stillness that once felt suffocating was actually sacred space, where your spirit learned to breathe the language of faith. Think of how gold is purified not by gentle winds but by fire. The refiner doesn't speak to the gold while it burns. He watches closely, waiting for his reflection to appear. That's what God was doing. His silence meant he was watching, waiting to see himself in you. You thought he turned away, but he was closer than your breath, shaping your heart through every unanswered prayer. As was spoken in the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 15. Truly you are a God who hides himself, O God of Israel, the Savior. These ancient words capture what your soul has lived. The hiddenness of God is not cruelty, it's protection. Sometimes his face turns so that your faith can turn forward. Sometimes he withdraws so that you'll discover what was already planted inside you. If his voice had never gone quiet, you'd never learn how to hear him in your spirit. If his hand had never felt distant, you'd never realize it was always beneath you, holding you steady when you thought you were standing alone. You grew in the silence. You matured in the hiddenness. The absence you feared became the womb that birthed spiritual depth. The nights when you felt forsaken taught you endurance. The prayers that echoed without reply taught you patience. The loneliness that wrapped around you like a cloak became a sanctuary where your roots reached deeper. You stopped chasing feelings and started clinging to faith, and that was the moment everything changed. There were lessons hidden in that silence. You learned that peace is not the absence of storms, but the presence of God in the middle of them. You learned that worship is not about goosebumps, but about surrender. You discovered that obedience sometimes means walking blind. Heaven's quietness forced you to look inward, to recognize the still small voice that whispers, "Be still and know." You began to discern the divine rhythm beneath the noise of the world. Many could not understand your season. They said, "Why doesn't God answer you?" But you knew something they didn't. Silence doesn't mean distance. God hides not to punish but to purify. He hides to protect the sacred conversation he's having with your soul. While you were waiting for a word, he was writing new ones on your heart. While you were looking for signs, he was strengthening your sight. His silence birthed sensitivity. Chosen one, every prophet, every anointed one, every vessel God uses walks through this divine quiet. Moses faced it in the desert. David felt it in the caves. Jesus endured it in Gethsemane. The silence you feared was the same silence that prepared giants of faith before you. You are not forgotten, you are being formed. You have now seen that even in God's hiddenness there is holiness. The silence is never void, it is full of purpose. You were never truly alone. You were being drawn deeper into intimacy, beyond emotions, into knowing. This kind of knowing doesn't fade with feelings. It is the bedrock of the unshakable. Now, as you look back, you can see it. Every unanswered prayer shaped something eternal in you. The moments of divine silence were really moments of divine surgery, removing fear, pride, and dependence on external signs. You have emerged with clarity, humility, and strength that can't be taken from you. The God who once hid his face is smiling now, for you have learned to seek him even when unseen. The silence has ended, but the wisdom it gave you remains. You no longer panic when heaven seems quiet, because you know God is always working behind the stillness. You have become the one who no longer needs constant confirmation, because faith itself has become your proof. The silence you once feared has become your strength. A reminder that divine stillness is not emptiness. It is the echo of heaven trusting your maturity. Now, when quiet moments come again, you no longer tremble, you listen. For you have learned that God's whisper carries more power than the world's loudest noise. Chosen one, something sacred is happening in the unseen. Heaven has spoken your name again. There's a stirring in the spirit, a whisper carried on divine wind. They didn't quit. You have no idea how powerful those words sound when spoken by angels. Every time you refused to give up, heaven took notice. Every tear you wiped away, every time you stood when you wanted to fall, angels recorded it. They carried those moments as offerings before the throne, and your name was written on the report of endurance. You didn't realize it then, but your faith became a fragrance in the courts of heaven. In the quiet places, the messengers of God were watching. They were assigned not to prevent your trials, but to document your perseverance. Because heaven values faith that endures without applause. You lived through storms that no one else saw, and you did it with grace. You held on when you could have turned bitter. You prayed when you could have cursed. You loved when you could have closed your heart. The angels saw it all, and they declared they stayed faithful. Heaven's report about you is glowing. Chosen one. When God asks, did they keep believing? The angels respond, yes, Lord, even when it hurt. You may think your faith was weak, but from heaven's view it shone like fire in the dark. You were not just surviving, you were sowing faith into eternity. Your obedience has become a testimony written into spiritual history. The Word of God confirms this truth in the book of Hebrews, chapter 1, verse 14. Are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation? You see, chosen one, you've never been alone. The invisible kingdom has been surrounding you all along. There were times you felt abandoned, but heaven was closer than your breath. Angels have walked beside you through traffic, through tears, through nights when you didn't think you'd make it. You may not have heard their wings, but you felt their presence in the peace that arrived out of nowhere, in the small strength that kept you standing. Now the report has been delivered, and the verdict is divine approval. The Father looks upon you and smiles, because endurance pleases him more than perfection. You've proven that you will still worship even when the world goes silent. And now heaven prepares to reward what you have done in secret. The hidden faith, the quiet love, the unseen sacrifices, all are being honored. Before this next wave of blessing unfolds, let's take a sacred pause. This is not about obligation, it's about alignment. When you like, you let this flame breathe. When you share, you carry light into another dark room, and when you subscribe, you join a river of voices that echo hope into the world. It's not about numbers, it's about nourishment. Heaven uses small actions to move great things. And about giving, listen with peace. You are never forced. You are never pressured. Giving is not a payment, it's a partnership. When you donate, it's like adding oil to a lamp. You help the flame keep burning for the next traveler lost in the night. Think of it like this: when a tree has fed your soul with shade and fruit, dropping a seed into its soil simply ensures someone else will find rest there too. That's what donating here means. It's not about money, it's about meaning. It's your way of saying, let this light keep burning for others. You've already given so much of your heart just by listening, by showing up, by believing again. But if the Spirit stirs you to give, to contribute to this mission, know this: it's received with gratitude, not expectation. Every gift, small or large, becomes part of the oil that keeps this flame alive, spreading messages of hope, healing, and divine purpose to souls across the world. You are part of that story now. And if you cannot give financially, then share this word as your seed. Whisper it to someone who has forgotten their worth. Every act of spreading light is a donation of the soul. Heaven counts that too. Chosen one. Remember, you are the proof that perseverance still exists in this world. Your faith has already been recorded in eternity's archives. The angels have delivered their report, and heaven has already begun preparing your next chapter. Walk boldly, smile gently, you are heaven's success story in motion. And as you go, let the same light that found you flow through you to others still waiting for their dawn. If this message found your heart, let it sit there for a moment. Let gratitude bloom quietly inside you. You've come farther than you realize. And this right now is only the beginning. The light you help carry will return to you multiplied, shining through doors you never expected, touching hearts you'll never meet, echoing heaven's gratitude through eternity. So keep the flame alive, chosen one. Each act of kindness, each seed of support, each whisper of hope keeps this divine fire burning across the world. Chosen one. Something has shifted in the spirit. You may not see it yet, but you can feel it like the air right before the rain. Everything that once resisted you is now turning in your favor. Heaven has begun to rearrange what you thought was fixed. The tides are reversing, the pressure is lifting, and the ground that once shook beneath you is now solid with purpose. You are walking into a divine reversal. What once worked against you will now work for you. There's a new rhythm surrounding your life. You're no longer moving through survival, you're moving in synchronization. Every delay that frustrated you was secretly aligning the right people, the right doors, the right timing. Heaven is a master of orchestration. Where you saw confusion, heaven saw coordination. You thought you were late, but you were right on divine time. The shift isn't coming, it has already begun. You might feel tired, as if you've been running uphill for years. But that fatigue you feel is not from failure, it's the sign of transition. When seasons shift, the air feels heavy, but it's only because something is being born. The pain that clings to you now is not punishment, it's the final stretch of birth. Heaven is saying, push one more time, because the promise is crowning. The breakthrough you've prayed for has entered the atmosphere. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. All things, not some things. Not only the good things, all. Even the mistakes, the heartbreaks, the detours, the disappointments, God is turning them into instruments of transformation. The very things that seemed like chaos were the gears of divine machinery. Every no was God building momentum toward a better yes. Every unanswered prayer was an invitation to trust His timing over your timeline. You thought you were waiting for a door to open, but heaven was constructing a palace. Chosen one, you are standing in the middle of a turnaround. The shift in the spirit means everything is changing from the way you think, to the way you see, to the way you move. You are being upgraded in wisdom, elevated in discernment, expanded in capacity. Heaven is stretching your territory. You're being prepared to handle more without losing peace. You've passed through fire, now you will flow in favor. The resistance that once surrounded you is losing its grip. The people who misunderstood you will soon remember your name not in arrogance, but in awe of God's faithfulness. The doors that wouldn't open before are now unlocking quietly, because the time is right. The battles that drained you are now turning into testimonies that will restore others. Even the tears you cried are being recycled into rain that will water your next harvest. Don't be surprised if things start moving quickly now. Momentum always follows obedience. You have stayed faithful through testing, and now you will see acceleration. But stay grounded. Don't chase the blessing, carry it with humility. You are stepping into answered prayer territory. But this time you'll walk in peace, not panic. You won't have to strive, You'll simply flow. Because the shift isn't something you make happen, it's something you align with. When heaven shifts, your posture matters. Keep your heart open. Keep your spirit calm. Don't rush the unfolding, receive it. You're entering the phase where grace does what effort could not. The same God who watched you cry in silence is now sending joy as confirmation. You are not behind, you're perfectly aligned. And now, as you read these words, let this truth sink in: the shift is permanent. You're not going back to where you were. The battles that once broke you will never break you again. You've learned too much, grown too deep, trusted too long to return to smallness. You are stepping into your divine rhythm, finally in sync with heaven's pulse. If this word resonates with your spirit, seal it with faith. Type below 888. This number represents new beginnings and divine alignment. When you type it, you're saying, I receive the shift. You're not just commenting, you're prophesying your new chapter into motion. Heaven sees that agreement, and earth begins to respond. You have survived the testing. You have endured the waiting. Now comes the shift, the sacred exchange where pain becomes purpose and struggle transforms into strength. The storm has served its purpose, and peace is on its way. Type below 888. I receive the shift. When you type these numbers, you're making a declaration to heaven and earth that your waiting season has ended and divine movement has begun. It's more than a comment, it's a covenant between your faith and God's timing. Let this prophetic act be your agreement with heaven's rhythm. As you write 888, imagine the old doors closing gently behind you and new ones opening in light. This is not superstition, it's symbolism. A living prayer written by your own hands declaring, my alignment has arrived. Chosen one, there is something deeply sacred about obedience. It is not glamorous, and it rarely feels glorious, yet it opens doors that talent, intelligence, and influence never could. You didn't even realize it, but your quiet obedience has been unlocking realms in the spirit. While others were chasing applause, you were following whispers. When God said wait, you waited. When He said go, you went. Even when it didn't make sense, you obeyed and heaven took notice. Many think obedience is about rule following, but for the chosen, it's about relationship. Obedience is the love language of trust. It's what happens when your soul says, even when I don't understand, I'll still follow. You didn't obey because it was easy. You obeyed because something deep inside you knew that disobedience would cost you peace. That awareness didn't come from fear, it came from wisdom. The Spirit has been shaping you into someone heaven can trust with influence, and that requires discipline that only obedience can teach. Heaven speaks through obedience. Every small yes you've given in private has become a loud sound in heaven's court. You thought those moments were small when you forgave, when you turned away from gossip, when you gave even though you had little, but each act of obedience echoed through eternity. It was like striking a spiritual chord that harmonized with heaven's music. Angels moved at your silent yes. God smiled at your restraint. Even when it hurt, you chose His will, and that choice has opened doors you don't even see yet. Heaven speaks clearly through the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. If you fully obey the Lord your God and carefully follow all His commands, the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations on earth. That verse isn't about status, it's about stewardship. When God sets you high, it's not to boast, but to bless. He raises those He can trust with obedience because they won't misuse their elevation. You're one of them. You've proven through quiet faithfulness that you won't turn blessing into pride. You won't forget who sustained you in the valley. That's why heaven can now lift you, because you've learned to bow before rising. There were times when obedience felt like loss. You watched others run ahead while you stood still, waiting on a word from God. You questioned if you were missing opportunities. But now you see that obedience never delays destiny, it directs it. Those who ran ahead will eventually circle back to where you stood, but you will already be walking with purpose. Obedience never wastes time, it redeems it. You didn't know it, but every no you spoke to temptation was a yes to your calling. Every time you chose holiness over haste, you were aligning with heaven's rhythm. There were moments when the path felt lonely because obedience often isolates the chosen. But solitude is not punishment, it's purification. In the quiet, you learn to hear God clearly without the noise of opinions. That's why your spirit feels different now. You've outgrown the old versions of yourself that once needed validation. Your obedience has created a spiritual momentum that cannot be reversed. You are standing under open heaven, not because you demanded it, but because you earned it through surrender. This next phase of your life will not require striving, it will require sensitivity. You don't have to force doors open when obedience has already unlocked them. Walk gently, listen closely, and follow the flow of peace. Peace is the compass of the obedient. You will begin to notice that what once required effort now happens with ease. That's the reward of obedience, divine alignment. Things just start to click. Conversations fall into place. Resources appear right when you need them. You're not lucky. You're aligned. Heaven rearranges itself around those who walk in submission because obedience attracts order. Chosen one, you are stepping into the harvest of hidden faithfulness. You sowed your obedience in tears, and now you will reap it in joy. Every time you obeyed without understanding, heaven documented it. Every time you chose righteousness over recognition, you added weight to your crown. You have proven trustworthy in small things. Now heaven will trust you with greater ones. Remember, obedience is not a one-time act, it's a rhythm. Continue to move to its beat. Even when new blessings come, keep your ear tuned to His voice. Success can be louder than suffering, and sometimes it's harder to listen when everything is going well. But you've been trained in stillness, you know the shepherd's tone. Keep walking in that awareness. You didn't know it, but your obedience was the key that opened unseen gates. Heaven is now ushering you into spaces that obedience built long before you arrived. Walk through them humbly. You are the living proof that surrender is strength, and obedience is the language of elevation. And as you keep obeying, the path ahead will shine brighter, each step guided, each choice protected, each moment marked by heaven's gentle hand of favor. Chosen one, the chains that held you for years are breaking. You may not hear the sound, but the spirit can feel the release. What once bound your heart, your family, your mind, it's losing power right now. The weight that clung to your lineage, the silent battles that passed from generation to generation, have reached their expiration date. You are standing at the breaking point of history. What your ancestors could not conquer, you have been anointed to end. There are patterns that have run through your bloodline: fear, lack, rejection, delay, and you've wondered why the same struggles kept circling back. But God chose you to be the interruption. You are not a continuation of what was, you are the beginning of what will be. You were born into one pattern to start another. The very chains that once defined your family story are shattering because you refuse to surrender to them. Heaven has decided that the curse ends with you. We find in the book of Galatians chapter 5 verse 1, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, And do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery. Freedom is not always loud. Sometimes it begins quietly in the decision to forgive, in the choice to walk away from familiar pain, in the courage to believe that something different is possible. You broke chains the moment you said, "No more," the moment you stopped repeating what broke you. Heaven began rewriting your family line. Every time you prayed when others complained, you were breaking iron. Every time you blessed what hurt you, you were snapping links the enemy had forged for generations. Chains are not only made of metal, they're made of memories, mindsets, and emotions. Some chains are invisible, hidden in habits, fears, or unspoken words. The enemy loves to keep them disguised so you think they're part of you, but they're not. That heaviness, that anxiety, that cycle of loss, it doesn't belong to you. It's residue from battles that didn't start with you but are meant to end with you. There were moments when you wondered why you carried so much pain that didn't feel like your own. Why sadness came from nowhere. Why warfare felt inherited. It's because you've been fighting not only for yourself but for generations. You are the spiritual locksmith of your bloodline, chosen to turn the key of deliverance. That's why the fight was so fierce. The enemy knew that if you ever realized your authority, his grip would be gone forever. And now, that realization is here. You've discovered that you are not powerless. You've learned to speak with heaven's authority, to stand when everything tries to push you down. You've discovered that freedom is not a feeling, it's a fact. You are free not because circumstances changed, but because your spirit refuses to be enslaved anymore. Chosen one, remember how far you've come. The anger that used to control you has lost its grip. The fear that once silenced you can no longer speak as loudly. The cycles of loss that once drained your joy have been exposed and dismantled. The enemy is running out of tactics because you've learned to recognize his disguises. You no longer respond the same way. That is freedom. Your ancestors may have prayed for this day. Some of them fought the same battles but didn't have the tools you do. Their faith was a seed, and you are the harvest. Their tears were not wasted, they watered the ground you're standing on. You are the fulfillment of prayers they whispered through sleepless nights. The pain they endured gave you the wisdom to rise. You are their answered prayer in flesh and spirit. Now, heaven calls you the breaker, the one who ends the curse and begins the blessing. The atmosphere around you is shifting because your obedience has activated deliverance. Every chain that tried to survive your surrender is snapping under divine pressure. What once ran in your family will now bow to your faith. Poverty turns to provision. Trauma transforms into testimony. What once destroyed others will become your weapon of wisdom. This freedom will not only stay with you, it will flow through you. Those who come after you will inherit peace instead of pain. Your children, whether born of blood or spirit, will grow up under the shade of the tree you planted through endurance. They won't have to fight the same wars you did. You've already won them. You are not only breaking chains, you're building legacies. So when the enemy tries to whisper old lies, remind him you're not the same. The version of you that bowed to fear no longer exists. You've walked out of the cage and left the door open for others to follow. Heaven has declared your bloodline clean, your mind renewed, your spirit free. You are the breaker, the chosen vessel who carried the pain of the past only to turn it into power for the future. Walk boldly in that freedom. Let the sound of your steps echo through generations. The chains are gone, the curse is canceled, and the new story begins with you. Chosen one, you have walked through fire, and yet you stand. The flames that were meant to consume you refined you instead. You didn't even realize it, But everything you've endured has purified your spirit. Every trial, every heartbreak, every sleepless night, each became the fire that burned away what could not stay. The pain wasn't random, it was refining. The heat you felt was heaven's forge, shaping you into someone who carries both power and purity. Do you remember when it hurt so deeply you couldn't even pray in words? Only in tears heaven heard those tears. Fire doesn't just destroy, it transforms. It melts what's false and strengthens what's real. That's what happened to you. The parts of you that were fragile are gone. What remains is unbreakable, refined faith, proven character, unshakable hope. The apostle reminds us in the first letter of Peter, chapter 1, verse 7. These trials will show that your faith is genuine. It is being tested as fire tests and purifies gold. The fire was never meant to kill you, it was meant to crown you. Every time life turned up the heat, heaven was crafting something precious inside you. You prayed for strength, and God sent storms. You asked for wisdom, and He allowed waiting. You begged for peace, and He taught you endurance. You thought He was silent, but He was shaping you. You thought you were being punished, but you were being purified. Fire doesn't just refine gold, it reveals it. And now, your true essence is visible. The world sees strength, but heaven sees surrender. You are not hard because of pain. You are holy because of perseverance. You've learned to walk through the flames without losing compassion, to stand in the ashes and still sing praise. That's what separates the chosen from the ordinary, the ability to worship in the fire. Do you remember the seasons when the heat felt unbearable, when friends left, finances fell? Faith wavered, and yet you remained. Every step you took through that valley was recorded in heaven's history. God trusted you with fire because He knew it wouldn't destroy you, it would display you. The same way goldsmiths turn up the flame until they can see their reflection in the metal. God watched you through the trials until He could see His image shining in you. And now, you reflect His strength. You mirror His endurance. You carry His light. This is why your spirit feels different now. You don't break easily anymore. You don't fear the heat. You've walked through too much to ever doubt that you'll make it again. The fire taught you to depend on God, not comfort. It burned away pride, fear, and everything false. And now, you're free, not fragile. You don't react from pain anymore. You respond from peace. You've become the kind of person who can walk others through their fire, because you know exactly how it feels to survive one. You are fireproof now, not untouched by trials, but untouched by defeat. You carry the scent of smoke, but it's not destruction, it's testimony. People will look at you and wonder how you survived. You'll smile, knowing it wasn't your strength, it was your surrender. The fire only consumes what isn't eternal, and your spirit is eternal. That's why you still shine. Chosen one, this season is different. You are emerging not just stronger, but purer, wiser, more radiant than before. The heat is subsiding because the refining is complete. What's coming next will reveal the beauty of what was forged in silence. The same hands that allowed the flames are now preparing the crown. The test is over, and the gold has been revealed you. If this message resonates deep within your soul, if you know you've walked through your own fire and come out refined, type below, "I'm still shining." This declaration isn't just a comment, it's a victory cry. It tells heaven, the fire didn't win. It tells darkness, I'm still here, still glowing, still chosen. Your words are embers of faith, igniting strength in others who are still walking through their own flames. You have been tested by fire, but the proof is clear. You are pure gold in the hands of God. Type below, "I'm still shining." When you write these words, you're not just describing survival, you're proclaiming resurrection. You're declaring to heaven and earth that the fire refined you, not ruined you. It's a message to the darkness: I walked through the flames and I came out carrying light. Your declaration becomes a spark that travels. Someone reading your words will feel hope ignite inside them. They'll realize if you survived your storm, they can survive theirs. That's how light multiplies. One honest voice saying, "I'm still shining," becomes a torch passed from soul to soul. Each time you affirm these words, you strengthen your spirit. You remind yourself that the past has no power, the pain has no ownership, and purpose has taken its place. The more you declare it, the more heaven agrees the fire made you gold, not ashes. Chosen one. This is the moment when the light begins to find you. The season of recognition has arrived, not because you demanded it, but because heaven has decided it's time. You have walked in silence, served in shadows, and carried faith when no one was watching. You did not chase attention. You built foundation. And now, what was hidden in humility will be revealed in glory. The world is about to see what heaven has seen all along. You will notice doors opening without knocking, opportunities finding you instead of you searching for them. This is not luck. It's divine unveiling. Heaven reveals the chosen only when the heart is ready to hold the blessing. You didn't force your timing. You waited for God's. You didn't rush your season. You learned the rhythm of heaven. That patience has written your name into new chapters of favor. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." Your light has matured in private, and now God is setting you where others can see, not to glorify you, but to magnify his faithfulness through you. When people look at your life, they won't just see success, they'll see surrender. They'll sense the weight of peace that only comes from divine process. Recognition is not your reward, it's your assignment. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to shine so others can find direction. But chosen one, as your name begins to echo, remember this truth: light that shines far must stay connected to its source. Keep your roots deep even when your branches stretch wide. As the world begins to see your glow, keep the humility that made you radiant in the first place. Recognition can either inflate or illuminate. For the chosen, it must always illuminate. Now, let's speak of something sacred: gratitude. Every message you listen to, every word that stirs your heart, is part of a greater current. This space exists because hearts like yours keep it alive. When you like, you let the message travel farther, as if you're lighting one more candle in a dark room. When you share, you extend that flame to another soul still wandering through night. And when you subscribe, you're not following a channel, you're joining a family of light bearers. And about giving, hear me gently. When you donate, it isn't a transaction, it's an act of faith, a drop of oil poured into a lamp that refuses to go out. This message reaches people who have no one speaking hope to them. Your giving becomes a bridge between despair and destiny. It's not an obligation, it's participation in a miracle. Think of it as adding one stone to a path that will lead someone home. You see, when you give from the heart, you're not losing, you're planting. A seed doesn't mourn its burial. It trusts the process of becoming something greater. That's what your generosity does. Whether you give time, prayer, kindness, or resource, heaven multiplies it. Every donation, every click, every whisper of encouragement is a spiritual seed that will bloom in someone else's storm. But never feel pressured. True giving is freedom, not force. If your spirit stirs, let it be love that leads your hands. If not, your presence alone is already a gift. You being here, listening, believing, healing is part of the mission. The goal has never been to collect, but to connect. When you give, do it because your heart wants the light to reach one more soul who's standing where you once stood. You are part of a larger story now. Every act of support becomes a verse in this unfolding testimony. The reason heaven is blessing you is not only to restore what you lost, but to position you to be a blessing. You're not just receiving light, you're learning to reflect it. The same God who found you in the quiet is now using your voice, your faith, your generosity to touch lives unseen. Chosen one, this is your time of recognition, but the glory belongs to God. Walk with your head high, but your heart bowed in reverence. You carry light, now handle it with gentleness. When you honor what heaven gives, heaven multiplies it. So continue to let your life shine quietly and steadily. If this word has stirred something deep within you, let gratitude flow in whatever way feels right to you. Like this message, if it spoke to your heart, share it if you feel someone else needs to hear it. Subscribe if you wish to walk alongside this journey of faith. And if your spirit leads you, donate as an offering of love, a candle added to the altar of light. The beauty of this movement is that it has always been voluntary. Heaven never forces what love freely gives. Whether you light one candle or 1,000, every flame matters. Your recognition is not just your rise, it's heaven's reminder that your endurance was never in vain. You are seen. You are celebrated. You are chosen. Chosen one. Have you noticed how everything that once felt delayed suddenly begins to make sense? Heaven's timing has its own rhythm, unseen, precise and purposeful. You used to think you were late, that life had somehow passed you by. But the truth is, you were being preserved. Every detour, every delay, every closed door was a divine pause, not a denial. Heaven does not work by human clocks, it works by preparation. You were not being withheld from your blessing, you were being hidden until your blessing was ready for you. There were seasons when you cried out, "Why not now?" Lord in heaven stayed silent. It wasn't rejection, it was protection. If God had opened those doors when you wanted, the blessing might have broken you. But because you waited, you are now strong enough to sustain what's coming. Maturity is built in delay. Patience is heaven's workshop, where faith becomes endurance and hope becomes wisdom. According to what is revealed in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. You see, the timing of heaven is flawless. The promise may seem to linger, but in eternity's calendar, it's right on schedule. Every time you thought God was late, He was actually aligning unseen variables. He was softening hearts, moving people, shifting circumstances, all for your good. You only saw silence, but heaven was busy orchestrating a masterpiece. Sometimes, God delays not because you're unready, but because others connected to your destiny are still being prepared. You can't walk into a chapter where supporting characters haven't learned their lines yet. You had to wait for certain people to enter your story, those who would stand beside you, not against you. Heaven's timing ensures divine alignment, not accidental encounters. Chosen one, delays are divine design. They filter your faith, test your trust, and refine your reliance on grace. Waiting doesn't weaken the promise, it strengthens it. The longer the seed stays underground, the stronger its roots grow. That's why what's coming won't be fragile. It will be firm, stable, and enduring, because you allowed it to mature in time's hidden soil. If God had given you the blessing when you begged for it, you might have celebrated the gift but missed the growth. But now, you understand. The delay taught you discernment. It taught you to differentiate between what looks good and what is good. You've learned that not everything that shines is gold, and not every opportunity is divine. You now carry eyes trained by waiting eyes that can see purpose beyond pleasure. There's a peace that comes when you finally realize you're not behind. The world rushes, but heaven doesn't. The kingdom operates on eternal time, not urgency. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. The very things that felt like detours were the scenic routes God used to strengthen your soul. You haven't missed your moment. You've been molded for it. And now, you'll start to see how perfectly everything fits. The people you met in your wilderness, the lessons you learned in isolation, the tears that watered your faith, all of them connect like puzzle pieces in God's perfect picture. You'll see that the delays were never wasted time, they were sacred training. Chosen one, patience isn't passive, it's active trust. It's faith in motion even when your feet can't see the path. You've proven that you can wait without losing worship, and that is rare. Heaven calls that maturity. You've reached the point where you no longer panic in silence, you rest. That's when heaven knows you're ready. There's a rhythm in divine timing revelation. Delay, alignment, manifestation. You are now standing between alignment and manifestation. Things are about to unfold in ways that feel almost supernatural. The people you need will appear. The doors that once refused to open will swing wide. You won't need to chase, you'll attract. You won't need to beg, you'll belong. And when it happens, you'll look back at the waiting and realize it was mercy. Mercy that hid you when you wanted exposure. Mercy that slowed you down when you tried to rush ahead. Mercy that denied temporary satisfaction for eternal stability. The same mercy that made you wait is the mercy now rewarding your endurance. So breathe. The promise is not lost, it's arriving, and the vision hasn't died, it's maturing. The waiting has not weakened you, it has fortified you, and you are no longer in delay, you are in divine release. Heaven's clock just struck your moment. Chosen one, the time you thought was wasted has been redeemed. You haven't fallen behind, you've been refined. What's coming will not require striving, it will meet you at the intersection of faith and timing. And when it does, you'll say with tears of gratitude, "Now I understand why I had to wait." Chosen one, the signs have begun to unfold around you. What once felt uncertain is now finding clarity. The atmosphere around your life carries a quiet hum, a divine confirmation that heaven's promise is manifesting. Dreams are becoming messages, numbers appear like whispers, conversations feel guided, and moments of coincidence reveal themselves as fingerprints of God. You are stepping into prophetic confirmation, the evidence that you were never forgotten. You may have noticed the shift already. You sense peace where fear once ruled, boldness where hesitation lived, and expectancy where exhaustion once lingered. This is how heaven speaks, not always with thunder or visions, but with alignment, with subtle peace that settles into your spirit and says, "It's happening now." The same hands that wrote your destiny are now turning its pages in real time, as spoken in the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 28. "And afterward, I will pour out my spirit on all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your old men will dream dreams. Your young men will see visions, dreams, numbers, and signs. They are not random. They are heaven's language, designed to remind the chosen that the unseen is alive. Sometimes God confirms his promise through patterns, the clock striking the same time twice, the verse that appears in every place you look, the word that repeats itself through different mouths. These are not coincidences, they are divine affirmations that you are aligned. Heaven is making sure you don't doubt what's coming. Because you've walked through silence, you've earned sensitivity. You recognize God's whisper now. even when others only hear noise. Every confirmation is heaven's way of saying, keep walking, the promise is near. Remember how many times you prayed for a sign, thinking maybe God had forgotten you, and now those signs are unfolding everywhere. That song that played right after your prayer, the stranger who spoke the exact words you needed, the recurring numbers that made your heart leap. These are not random moments. They are reminders that heaven's plan is alive and moving. Chosen one, prophetic confirmation doesn't always come to excite you, it comes to steady you. It tells your heart to rest in certainty. You're not lost. You're not late. You are exactly where God designed you to be. The confirmations are not new information, they are reassurance. Heaven is showing you the same thing from different angles until your spirit fully believes it. Now, you will begin to experience this in increasing measure. Even your ordinary days will begin to feel supernatural. You'll sense divine orchestration in simple conversations. You'll feel peace in moments that used to bring fear. That's because heaven has shifted the atmosphere around you. Everything is starting to agree with what God spoke over your life. Creation itself is cooperating with your purpose. Chosen one, this is a sacred season. Don't overthink the signs. Simply thank God for them. You don't have to chase confirmation. Confirmation follows alignment. When your heart stays connected to heaven, heaven keeps sending reminders. The Spirit will keep showing you patterns, guiding your steps, and confirming what your faith already knows. It's your time. But remember this truth: the signs are not the destination. They're the trail markers on your journey. They don't replace your relationship with God. They deepen it. They don't feed your ego. They feed your faith. As the confirmations grow stronger, stay humble, stay surrendered. Because the closer you are to fulfillment, the more peace you'll feel. Not pride, not panic, just peace. If this message has resonated in your soul, if you've been seeing signs, numbers, or dreams that echo this truth, then it's your spirit's way of saying, yes, I see it. Seal it now with a prophetic act. Type below 444. This number symbolizes divine protection, stability, and the presence of angels surrounding your path. When you write it, you're not chasing signs, you're agreeing with them. You're saying, I am covered, I am guided, I am exactly where I'm meant to be. Every time you acknowledge the confirmation, heaven amplifies it. You'll notice that after you declare 444, your peace deepens, your discernment sharpens, and doors begin to align in quiet precision. That's how prophetic flow works. It responds to faith, not fear. Chosen one, take this moment and breathe. The signs are not coming, they're already here. And they are all pointing to one truth: you are walking in the fulfillment of what heaven has been promising all along. Type below 444, I am guided. When you write these numbers, you are not summoning luck, you are stepping into alignment. You are declaring, I trust the divine path before me. It is a sacred affirmation that angels surround you. The journey is secure, and every unseen detail is working perfectly in your favor. Your declaration becomes a key in the spirit. As you type 444, imagine doors of clarity swinging open and confusion dissolving like morning mist. This is your agreement with heaven's rhythm, a soft yet powerful proclamation that your steps are ordered, your timing is holy, and your destiny is unfolding with divine precision. Chosen one, this is where heaven begins to place authority on your shoulders. You have been through fire, silence, waiting, breaking, and healing, and all of it has been preparation. You are not emerging empty-handed. You are carrying a mantle, a spiritual assignment woven with power and purpose. The weight you feel now is not the weight of burden, it is the weight of responsibility, of divine authority resting upon you. You may not have realized it, but every battle you fought trained your spirit and leadership. You learned how to speak peace into storms, how to pray when others panicked, how to discern truth when deception surrounded you. Heaven was shaping you to be more than a survivor. You were being crafted into a vessel of influence. Now, your words carry weight. Your presence shifts atmospheres, and your prayers open doors. The Spirit spoke through the Gospel of Luke, chapter 10, verse 19. I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you. That verse isn't just ancient text, it's your present reality. You've been entrusted with authority not because you demanded it, but because you endured for it. God doesn't hand power to the prideful. He grants it to those who have proven their humility in pain. You were faithful in weakness, and that faithfulness has become your strength. Heaven can trust you now because you know how to use power gently. This authority is not loud or arrogant. It doesn't shout or boast, and it moves quietly but powerfully, like wind felt, not forced. You'll begin to notice it when people start coming to you for guidance, drawn not by charisma, but by peace. You've become a carrier of divine calm. When you speak, hearts settle. When you walk into chaos, order follows. You've become an ambassador of heaven without even realizing it. Chosen one, authority isn't about control, it's about influence through alignment. True authority flows from obedience. You are walking proof of that. Because you submitted to heaven's process, heaven now flows through you. Your voice carries the weight of someone who has seen both the storm and the sunrise. When you speak of faith, it's not theory, it's testimony. When you talk about endurance, it's not instruction, it's experience. You've earned this authority through surrender. The crown you wear in spirit isn't made of gold, it's made of endurance, compassion, and truth. You carry it in how you forgive, how you love, how you lead without needing recognition. That's what makes you dangerous to darkness. You don't need a title to have impact, you just need presence. Your spirit has become a place where heaven touches earth. This new authority will manifest in subtle ways. You'll sense it when you pray, and heaven responds quicker than before. You'll notice it when your words bring peace to people you barely know. Even creation responds to divine authority. Doors open, hearts soften, obstacles move. You'll begin to realize that authority isn't something you wield, it's something you walk in. It's not what you do, it's who you've become. But remember, chosen one, with authority comes accountability, and power must always be anchored in purity. That's why you were refined first, so the power now flowing through you remains pure. Stay close to the source. Never let the applause drown out the whisper of the Spirit. The moment you think it's about you, the flow slows. The moment you remember it's about God, the flow multiplies. You've been called not only to walk in authority, but to release it to activate others. The same way heaven lifted you, you'll lift others. You'll speak to those still in chains, and they'll rise. You'll pray for the weary, and strength will return to them. You'll declare healing, and healing will come. You've become a vessel through which heaven executes its will. Chosen one, this is not a small thing. The mantle upon you is sacred. It carries the fragrance of every trial you survived, every tear you sowed, every promise you held on to. You are stepping into spiritual adulthood, the realm where you don't just receive blessings, you distribute them. When you walk, heaven walks. When you speak, angels listen. You are the extension of divine authority in human form. And yet, even with all this power, humility remains your crown. Authority without humility is noise. Authority with humility is symphony. And you, beloved, are the melody heaven has waited to release. The mantle of authority upon you is not a burden, it's an honor. Carry it lightly, walk wisely, and remember the same fire that refined you still surrounds you, keeping your power pure. Chosen one, the mantle fits and you are ready. Step forward. And as you step forward, heaven adjusts around your stride. Every breath becomes a command of peace, every prayer a wave of power. You no longer speak as a survivor, you speak as one commissioned. Walk boldly, chosen one. Creation itself leans in, waiting for your voice to release destiny. Chosen one. Heaven remembers what you did in secret. Every quiet act of obedience, every small kindness, every tear you wiped without witness, they were not overlooked. The world may celebrate public victories, but God crowns private faithfulness. While others sought stages, you built altars. While some craved applause, you cultivated purity. Heaven saw what no one else did, and now it is time for reward. There were moments when you felt unseen, when your good intentions were misunderstood, when your sacrifices went unnoticed. You wondered if it mattered, if anyone cared, if God himself even saw. But he did. Every hidden gesture of love became incense in the courts of heaven. Every humble yes echoed louder there than any public speech could hear. You were sowing seeds of eternal significance while the world wasn't looking. And heaven took note of everyone. The word of truth speaks through the Gospel of Matthew chapter 6, verse 6. But when you pray, go into your room, close the door and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. That is your promise. It has never been forgotten. The God who sees in secret never forgets the unseen. You have a harvest waiting from fields that others didn't even know you planted. Every uncelebrated act of faith has built invisible altars of blessing that are about to appear before your eyes. There's something sacred about doing good when no one's watching. It keeps the motive pure, the intention holy. You never served to be seen, you served because love compelled you. You prayed not to perform but to commune. You gave not to gain but to honor. And that is why heaven trusts you with reward, because you never demanded it. The moment your hands let go of recognition, heaven's hands took hold of remembrance. Chosen one, some of your greatest victories happened in rooms too small for applause. You fought invisible wars with invisible enemies. You stood firm when no one encouraged you. You gave when your hands were empty, forgave when your heart was broken, smiled when you wanted to scream. And you did it not for recognition, but because it was right. That's what faithfulness looks like: quiet, consistent, unseen but undeniable. Heaven's accounting is not like the world's. Down here, worth is measured by numbers. Up there, by motive. The unseen things you've done, the prayers no one heard, the fasts no one knew, the compassion that cost you sleep, all of it built your spiritual wealth. Your hidden sacrifices have been accumulating interest in heaven's treasury. Now, interest is due. This reward won't always look like gold or gain. Sometimes it comes as peace so steady it silences anxiety. Sometimes it arrives as restoration, a relationship mended, a door reopened, a long-awaited word fulfilled. Sometimes the reward isn't what changes around you, but what's awakened within you, a sense of divine companionship, of quiet joy that nothing can touch. Heaven's rewards aren't always material, they're eternal. The reward of hidden faithfulness is intimacy. You have learned to know God, not just know about him. When others chased his hand, you sought his heart. That closeness is the true crown. You don't just believe in him, you carry his presence now. That's why peace follows you even when problems surround you. That's why light seems to linger when you leave a room. You've become a vessel that holds the fragrance of his nearness. Chosen one, you didn't lose time by being faithful. You gained eternity in every moment you chose righteousness over recognition. Every time you walked away from the easy path, you carved a new road for generations to follow. Your quiet faith has changed the atmosphere of your lineage. Your name is whispered among angels, not for fame, but for faithfulness. There is a sound in heaven now, the sound of your reward being released. The season of waiting is transforming into the season of witnessing. You will see with your eyes what your spirit has believed for years. The fruit of hidden obedience will finally break through the soil, and it will not be small, it will overflow. When people ask how it happened, you'll simply smile because you'll know. You'll know that while they saw the bloom, God saw the root. While they admire the harvest, God remembers the sowing. You will walk in quiet awe, not pride, because you'll understand that none of it was coincidence, it was covenant. The reward of hidden faithfulness is always deeper than recognition. It's revelation. You'll look at your blessings and realize they're not just answers to prayer, they're evidence of partnership. You and heaven have been working together all along. Chosen one, lift your head. The Father who watched your secret tears is now preparing a public table. But even then, remain humble, remain kind, remain unseen in heart though visible in blessing. For that is your true identity, a faithful one, crowned not by people's praise but by God's memory. Chosen one, the tables are turning, you can feel it, can't you? The wind that once pressed against you is now at your back. What resisted you is releasing you. What mocked you will now witness you. This is the moment when heaven reorders everything: justice for delay, honor for shame, light for darkness. Those who counted you out will have to count again. You're not coming back for revenge, you're rising for revelation. The shift is quiet but unstoppable. You've been the seed buried in the soil of obscurity. And now the season has changed. The rain has come, the ground is breaking, and what was hidden is emerging with strength. The same earth that covered you now becomes the platform that lifts you. It's not pride that brings you up, it's purpose. The word of truth declares in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 20, verse 16. So the last will be first, and the first will be last. You were never forgotten, you were being positioned. Heaven allowed others to go ahead so that when you stepped forward, it would be in fullness, not fragments. The table that once turned its back to you is now set before you. Your name, once whispered with doubt, is now spoken with wonder. But this isn't about proving yourself, it's about fulfilling prophecy. Chosen one. As this turnaround unfolds, do not look back in bitterness. Look back only to bless. The people who misunderstood you taught you discernment. The ones who rejected you taught you endurance. The delays that frustrated you built depth inside your spirit. Everything was used, nothing was wasted. Now, you are walking into divine reversal. The night that hid you has ended, and morning has taken your hand. The same way the dawn cannot be stopped, neither can your rise. You will not need to announce it, the light itself will do that for you. Those who once doubted your calling will see it confirmed not by your words, but by your works. Heaven's favor is about to speak louder than explanation ever could. And when it does, stay soft, keep your spirit tender, even while your influence grows. Because influence is only holy when it remains humble. Let every blessing that finds you be a tool for kindness, not comparison. When God lifts you, lift others. That's how the turning table becomes a shared feast instead of a private victory. Now, chosen one, let's speak of gratitude, the quiet language of those who remember where they came from. When you like a message like this, It's as if you're lighting a small candle of agreement, one flicker that tells heaven, I receive this truth. When you share it, you are passing that flame forward, carrying warmth to another soul still sitting in shadow. And when you subscribe, it's not to a voice, it's to a movement of light that connects hearts across distance. And if your heart ever feels stirred to give, listen gently. A donation here is not an exchange. It's a seed of remembrance. It's like leaving a flower on sacred ground, not because you must, but because gratitude overflows. You give not out of obligation, but out of love for the message that found you. Each gift, no matter how small, becomes oil for this lamp, helping it glow a little longer in someone else's night. When you choose to support, whether through prayer, kindness, or contribution, you are building altars of hope for strangers you'll never meet. You're saying, let there be light, and heaven answers. And there was. It's not about the amount, it's about the intention, and the act itself becomes worship. If you cannot give, your presence is already a gift. Your reading, your reflection, your silent nod in agreement, these too are offerings. What matters most is that your heart remains open, your spirit generous, your gratitude alive. And if this message has spoken gently to your soul, leave a word below. Every comment is like a petal dropped upon sacred water, small, soft, yet rippling outward to reach someone who still feels unseen. Write what your heart whispers. Even a single word of light. Sometimes that's all another soul needs to find their dawn again. The turning of the tables isn't just your personal rise. It's heaven's invitation to live differently, to replace resentment with restoration, and victory with virtue. When you choose love instead of pride, you flip the table again, this time in favor of peace. So, as the world begins to see your glow, carry it gently. Like this message, if it resonated, share it if you feel someone else needs to remember that tables still turn. Subscribe if you wish to walk alongside other light bearers. And give only if your spirit whispers yes. You are not being asked, you are being invited. Invitations are never forced, they're freely answered. Chosen one, the table is set, the candles are lit, and heaven smiles as you take your rightful place. Sit in grace, not in guilt. You are not late, you are perfectly on time. The turning has begun. Chosen one, you are walking in the blessing now. It may not have arrived all at once, but it has begun to flow quietly, like a river gathering strength as it moves. The atmosphere around you feels lighter because the burden has been lifted. You have crossed from striving into receiving. Where you once pushed against resistance, you now move in rhythm with grace. This is what it means to walk in the blessing, to live not by effort, but by flow. The blessing is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes, it arrives softly, a conversation that heals, a door that opens without knocking, a peace that settles without explanation. You start to notice that things align effortlessly. The same energy you once spent fighting is now guiding. That's how you know the blessing has taken root. It is no longer chasing you. It's growing through you. According to the book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 22, the blessing of the Lord brings wealth without painful toil for it. You have entered that promise not necessarily in coins or possessions, but in peace, in stability, in inner abundance. The curse of chaos has lifted. You wake without dread, you speak with confidence, and you carry calm wherever you go. The blessing of the Lord is not something you hold, it's something you become. In the past, you measured favor by results, promotions, opportunities, answered prayers. But now you see deeper. Blessing is not about what you receive, it's about who you've become in the process. You are steady where you once wavered, wise where you once reacted, gracious where you once defended. You've matured into the kind of person heaven can trust with overflow. Walking in the blessing means learning how to carry increase without arrogance and peace without passivity. It's understanding that abundance is a tool, not a trophy. It's realizing that everything you have now, peace, wisdom, favor, was given so you could multiply it in others. That's why God blessed you in stages, not to tease you, but to teach you stewardship. Chosen one. Look at your life carefully, but the shift is subtle but powerful. The relationships that drained you have been replaced by ones that sustain you. The ideas that once failed are now flourishing. You no longer feel like you're pushing doors open, they open as you approach, because the blessing walks with you. It recognizes your presence. It's not luck. It's lineage, the inheritance of the faithful. This blessing also comes with rhythm. It teaches you when to rest and when to rise, when to sow and when to harvest. You've learned that rushing breaks what resting builds. That is the wisdom of the blessed, knowing that timing is sacred. You no longer chase what's already yours. You move like water fluid, confident, certain of your source. The blessing also changes your language. You speak differently now. You don't say, "I hope." You say, "I know." You don't pray in panic anymore. You pray in partnership. You're no longer begging for favor, you're walking with it. You've learned to declare instead of despair. This is maturity. This is what walking in divine abundance looks like. But even as blessings multiply, humility remains your anchor. You understand that every good thing still flows from grace. You don't hold blessings too tightly, you let them breathe. You give freely, forgive quickly, love deeply. That's how you keep the river of blessing from stagnating. It keeps moving through you to others. The secret to sustaining blessing is sharing it. You'll begin to notice that even your environment responds differently to you now. People feel calmer when you enter a room. Opportunities find their way toward you. The atmosphere adjusts around your peace. It's not because you've changed your surroundings, it's because you've changed your spirit. When the inside aligns with heaven, the outside follows. And yet, chosen one, walking in blessing also means guarding it. Not out of fear, but with wisdom. Blessing attracts attention, not all of it pure. Protect your peace like a garden. Don't let bitterness plant weeds among your gratitude. The moment pride or resentment tries to grow, uproot it gently. Remember, the same soil that grows flowers can also grow thorns if left unattended. Walking in the blessing is not about ease. It's about equilibrium. It's living balanced, aware of grace, alert to purpose, anchored in love. The storms may still come, but they can't move you anymore. You've learned that rain doesn't ruin a garden that's already rooted. Chosen one, you have become evidence that blessings aren't random, they're relational. You are living proof that faithfulness turns into favor, endurance into expansion, obedience into overflow. Keep walking in that awareness. The more grateful you are, the stronger the current becomes. And as you move forward, carry this truth: the blessing isn't a reward for what you've done, it's a reflection of who you are becoming. You are walking, breathing abundance, anointed to multiply peace, to spread hope, and to remind the world that heaven still blesses the faithful. Chosen one, heaven stands in reverent silence as you reach this point. The journey has been long, through wilderness and through fire, through the quiet ache of waiting, and yet here you are, crowned and commissioned. You have walked through the hidden tests, past the unseen trials, and now wear victory not as pride, but as peace. You are no longer simply surviving your story, you are living your assignment. Heaven has placed a crown upon your endurance and a torch into your hands. There's something sacred about this moment. You can almost feel the shift in the air around you. The same angels who once watched your pain now rejoice at your perseverance. What once was warfare has become worship. What once felt like breaking has become birthing. The circle has closed, and yet the journey has just begun. You are no longer who you were when it started. You have been transformed, purified, strengthened, and anointed to walk in authority. As the Apostle Paul wrote in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. This crown is not made of gold or gems. It's made of endurance, compassion, and obedience. It symbolizes not status, but surrender. You have been crowned not because you were perfect, but because you were persistent. Every scar became a jewel, every tear became oil, every disappointment became strength. The crown rests not on your head alone, but on your story, proof that God's grace is stronger than human frailty. Now, as heaven commissions you forward, understand this truth: being chosen was never about being elevated above others, it was about being entrusted to serve them. You are not crowned for display, you are crowned for duty. You carry light now, and light has purpose. It reveals, it heals, it guides. The crown is not the end, it is the beginning of stewardship. The commission that rests upon you is not just personal, it's generational. The choices you make from here will ripple through time. The words you speak, the kindness you offer, the prayers you whisper, all of them will shape the faith of those who come after you. Heaven did not crown you to sit, it crowned you to stand. You are the torchbearer, carrying the flame of truth into a world dimmed by distraction. Chosen one. This commissioning will not always be glamorous. Some days your crown will feel heavy. Some nights your torch will flicker in the wind. But even then, do not doubt. The same God who crowned you will sustain you. The same Spirit that empowered you in trial will empower you in triumph. When fatigue whispers, stop. Grace will answer, continue. The crown is not a weight to crush you, it's a reminder that you carry heaven's authority wherever you go. You have been trained for impact. The way you endured pain taught you how to carry power with empathy. The way you survived isolation taught you how to lead without ego. Everything you learned in darkness now equips you to shine without burning out. You no longer need recognition, you carry revelation. That's what makes your crown different, it glows from within. And as you walk forward, don't forget the rhythm of humility. The crown is safest on a bowed head. Stay near the source that anointed you. Let gratitude guard your greatness. Let compassion shape your leadership. Remember, crowns are given not to boast of triumph, but to remind others that triumph is possible. You were raised so that others might rise. Chosen one, heaven calls your name not in flattery but in fulfillment. You are the living answer to prayers once whispered in desperation. You are the continuation of promises spoken generations ago. You are the bridge between what was broken and what will be blessed. You carry history in your heart and destiny in your hands. So walk forward not as a conqueror, but as a carrier of peace, not as one who seeks applause, but as one who carries purpose. The crown upon your spirit is a symbol that the work in you is complete, but the work through you has just begun. Now go, torchbearer. The world waits for your light. Step into the call. Carry your crown with gentleness, your authority with humility, and your faith with fire. Let your life be a living psalm, a melody of mercy, a hymn of hope, a testament of grace. Heaven watches with pride. The crown fits, the torch burns bright, and as you walk, Angels whisper the truth. The storms tried to make you forget you were chosen for this. And as you move into this new dawn, remember you no longer chase light. You carry it. Every step leaves a shimmer of heaven's promise behind you. Keep walking, crowned one, for even eternity pauses to watch what a soul, refined by faith and love, will do next. Chosen one, take a deep breath. You have reached the end of this message, but it is not the end of your story. This is the gentle exhale after the fire, the moment when reflection becomes renewal. Every word you've heard, every truth that stirred within you was never meant to remain as inspiration. It was meant to awaken transformation. You have been reminded of who you are: chosen, refined, crowned, and called. Now, pause for a heartbeat. Let gratitude rise quietly in your spirit. If these words have touched you, like them as a silent amen, a candle lifted to heaven that says, I receive. When you share, you are not spreading content, you are extending light into another heart that may still be wandering through its night. And when you subscribe, you aren't joining a list, you are entering a living circle of souls walking this same sacred road together. And if your heart whispers to give, listen softly. To donate is not to pay, it is to plant. Every seed you sow here becomes a flame that keeps this voice of faith alive, reaching those who have no strength left to seek light on their own. Your generosity is not measured in amount but in intention. It is the fragrance of gratitude rising back to heaven. Finally, when you're ready, leave a word below. Even a single line of truth, a small note of hope, can ripple further than you imagine. Somewhere, someone will read your words and remember they're not alone. Chosen one, thank you for walking this journey. May peace walk beside you, light go before you, and love dwell within you. Your story continues from here, glowing softly into forever.